This is very simply a test for capturing video for Project Zomboid. So I am a real cheap ass when it comes to playing here. So I use my solo mode and I use a custom sandbox. And we'll just start with a draw there. But I've got a saved preset here called Talbot, which has a low zombie count with an urban focus. Starts in June. I have water and electricity shut off at 6 to 12 months. House alarms are pretty much non-existent. Yeah, dog wanting out in the background, check. Food spoilage and everything's normal. I've got the fire spread, yeah. Generator working exterior, sure, whatever. All that stuff kind of out of the ordinary here. Pretty much this stuff is normal. The sadistic AI director is mostly shut off. I hate the helicopter event, so I turned it off. There's never a sleeping event, and there's sometimes meta events, so usually like every so often I'll hear a gunshot or scream in the distance or something. The randomized house chance I bumped up sometimes, and the decaying corpse health impact I dropped to low. I don't really want to be whatever dealing with that. Loot rarity I put everything at normal. So finding loot really isn't that difficult. My stats decrease very slow, but my endurance regenerates very fast. I just don't want a lot of downtime. I give myself a starter kit and give myself 25 free trait points. My injury severity is low with the ability for a bone fracture. Clothing degradation is slow, but it's funny how often I still end up with ripped clothing. I do have a habit of walking through trees and bushes and shit. Rear vulnerability is low. I did turn on weapon multi-hit just because I like to survive combat a little bit easier, even though again it's a very low kind of difficulty setting, and all clothes are unlocked, so I allow myself to kind of outfit myself however at the beginning. I allow the mini-map, allow the world map, and all known on start. I just kind of consider that my character's local. And for vehicles, I got them on, of course. The chance has gas is high because it really annoys me to find that, they're pretty much all empty on the normal settings, which doesn't really strike me as all that realistic, but that's me. Initial gas is normal. General conditions of the vehicles are kind of normal, so generally a lot of them are drivable. And the car alarms frequency, I just turned that right off. Again, giving myself the wussy settings. My zombie lore here is they are only shamblers. I kind of like the Night of the Living Dead style. They can only transmit by saliva, and environmental attacks are on. So I do, with that on, it's kind of funny because I do tend to find that they break down a lot of doors and windows. And our population is just set to the 0.35 multiplier, and I turned off respawn hours entirely. I like the idea that it's just a set population of zombies out there, or more or less, and I can clear an area, which is kind of fun because then I feel a little safer. That is this, so then we can come in here, and of course, I tend to also kind of select myself as whatever. I don't know, I changed the save a lot going around, but right now the gameplay version I've got going on, I've got a burglar setup, so I'm actually just going to get out of here. And for the next test, we're just going to we're going to load in here. So these are the end times, yeah, but they're the easy end times for me. There was no hope for survival, but there is hope because I set my settings very low and easy to deal with. And this is how you die, but not yet. We're just gonna kind of load in here, kill that, and so I set myself up in Muldra. Apparently I am bored and a little sad, but I got tons of food in this place, so I'm just gonna kind of do a little tour of my home. So over here, this is the bathroom I never use. Oops, I just locked myself in. My TV is still operating because we are on August 29th. Which means we are 2 months, 29 days, and 5 hours into my survival here. My bookshelf is filled with VHS tapes. I just actually spent a little bit of time getting rid of duplicates because I just need to stop filling up the shelves. I have tons of books, crossword puzzles, word search magazines, skill books, and whatever around. I've got a violin sitting there. It would be kind of nice if you could use the instruments to entertain yourself. So over here, this house had this stuff, so had this crate in here when I got here for the first time. So I just keep this as rich stuff. My general tools and crap are not very well dealt with. All the downstairs windows are barricaded with wood from the outside, and I've built a whole bunch of other crates over here. This is the first antique stove I've found. It's currently fairly well stocked with fuel. It can run for 59 hours, 9 minutes if I lit it. I actually just found another one, which I'm hoping to kind of put out in a fishing shack that I want to work on. So I got all kinds of lumber and stuff because these crates are all getting filled up here. This one is, I'm not sure why I have shovels in there, but this one is mostly for my mechanic stuff, which I really haven't worked on my mechanic skill much. And this is my secondary box for mechanic stuff. So over here, these boxes, I've got kind of this crate down here. I had intended to put tree branches, twigs, like anything for fire starter. Right now I've got some logs in there, and the rest of the logs, of course, you can see there's, oops, let's try that again, because I've got food on the floor. Bunch of logs on the floor, but raiding the logging company and cutting down my own trees here. So up top we got the secondary, like another general tool and materials item. I've got a bunch of food on the floor because this is all food. This is all food. This is more general stuff. Should build another crate. I got three of these ice boxes in here now. The two that are here are, I think, pretty much filled. I think this side might still have some room. Yeah, not much though. No, they're both basically. Yeah, this side still has room. But that side's full. This ice box with Furby the squirrel on it is full. And this one I just picked up, found at the hotel, and it's full. So all this stuff. My kitchen is pretty much full. Cupboards are just packed with canned foods and other dried foods, and I've got a whole bunch of different things here for kitchen utensils and such. This is full. The fridge has got a lot of stuff in it, but the freezer's full, which is why I was looking for the ice boxes. Like, not a bad setup for me here. I do need to just kind of organize things. I now have 3 completely full water dispensers here. I'm still on the lookout for some more for whenever the electricity and water does shut off. Upstairs, this here is actually just a bunch of VHS tapes thrown there. These are all duplicates. Once I kind of watch something, I tend to toss it. I'm using a house just to the west of me as kind of my dumping ground. And we got all kinds of books, and there's some extra pens kicking around, which and we got some the maps, which I don't really need these in when I have the map kind of completely open, but the annotated maps are kind of handy. And this shelf over here, just some more books and such like that. Okay, here, tons of first aid stuff, as well as I keep my sewing kits and I keep sheets and such like that in here. My first aid skill is practically non-existent because I have really barely hurt myself, so I really haven't had to do too much. As you can see, all my skills here are all, and these ones down here are all XP boosted at the moment due to my various readings. Over here we have my bedroom with a couple of guitars I found, as well as, I'm going to just close that window, as well as my clothing, which I do tend to change kind of out of depending on what I'm doing, because it is summer, I get warm. And over here, these are just a whole bunch of duffel bags, satchels, a school bag, and a suitcase. I keep meaning to just throw these into the back of my van and take with me so I can enter a building, fill a duffel bag up, then throw the duffel bag into the back of the van. But I'm still doing things the hard way because I'm an idiot. Alright, the fun room. Arsenal. We got one little weapon, one little gun cabinet here with a bunch of shotguns, rifles, pistols, revolvers, and I got some metal shelving that I picked up here. So on the far east part here, on the far right, we got all the ammo as well as magazines and slings, that kind of thing here. The one beside it is where I keep my some fishing tackle. I used to keep my fishing, like I had a fishing backpack, which is now down by my fishing spot. I just leave it there, as well as all my gear for protecting myself. I load up pretty heavy when I go out, at least as heavy as possible. These are all melee weapons that I've been picking up and just adding to the pile. I know some of those are actually, you know, like I crafted a lot of spears, but oops, wrong shelf. But I also kind of keep the metal bars and pipes here, that kind of thing, because just eventually I'll use them as weapons. And then on the end, this is the spillover from the gun cabinet, because I really need another gun cabinet. But so far, I have not found one. I started in Muldraw here, so I'm just gonna pull up the map. You can see my mini map's got a lot of X's on it. So anytime I kind of finish clearing out a house of all the useful stuff that I need at the moment anyway, like food and whatnot, I just kind of give it an X. So you can see here, this is my base of operations, and there's a trail that leads down to this little pond, lake, whatever. So this is my fishing spot, and I'm hoping to build a shack there, and on the other side, that little circle's where I'm putting my rabbit traps. Well, so far all I've caught is rabbit. So I've already emptied out so much of the neighborhood. This is actually a fairly safe neighborhood through here, at least kind of in this area. This is not bad. There's zombies kind of roaming. There's some zombies roaming through here. There's definitely some up here. The further away we get, the more zombies there are, and the highway's still kind of a little crazy. I've raided the bookshop. I've raided the police, the little tiny police station that Muldraw has. I raided it some time ago, and that's pretty sure that's where I picked up the some of the metal shelving that I've been using, as well as the gun cabinet. So I'm still kind of going through stuff. I have, even though the map's open, you can kind of see where I've actually been just based on what's lit. I tried back in, I guess it was July, to go try to raid the military base, and that was a horror show. Even at my low wussy settings. So first of all, I kind of drove. It was pouring rain, which was a bad idea. I should have waited a day or two. So trying to drive through, I ended up wrecking a car. I'm surprised I didn't get stuck. By the time I got to the base, my vehicle was, you know, gone, and I ran to the base hoping to find stuff, and it was getting late, and there's zombies everywhere. I get inside the base, hide out, but I can't really get any sleep because there's zombies constantly banging. And yeah, the only thing I managed to pull out of that was a couple of military helmets. I didn't even get I saw a zombie with a military backpack on, but completely failed to get that. It's like it was a big swarm for, again, my settings. Not a big swarm for normal settings, but logging company I have visited many times, kind of looting it. Thankfully at the logging company I found a couple of sledgehammers, which I'd been looking for. And I also went all the way out here when I started into farming. This is I forget the name. Dixie. So I'd kind of come all the way out to Dixie because I had looked it up and I knew there was a feed store. There's still stuff there, and I know there's still some firearms there too, so I can go back if I need to. But right now I've got tons of seeds. And I kind of did a little bit of driving through here. I keep thinking about going to the city because I understand there's a military roadblock up there that has a lot of military grade weapons and gear, so I might end up trying that at some point here. So alright, despite the rain, we're going to kind of pop outside. My guy needs a haircut. His hair's kind of messy. I'd actually give... He had short hair to begin with, and then I kind of gave him like a buzz cut, and the buzz cut kind of looks stupid, so I shaved my head bald, and it took, I think, about a month for it to come back. And I've just let my beard grow for the last little while. Now, it is pouring rain, but I'm going to pop out into the yard anyway. When I kind of hit the bottom, I take out crowbar. So I've got a beater truck here that gets me around, but it's really just kind of good for driving around town. And I got my van. So the van's in pretty good shape. Man, I'm depressed. Okay, I got to do something about that. My antique oven. There's another antique oven here, and I think I want to put that in my my fishing shack when I get it done, which of course you can see here. That's the trail that leads to my fishing spot. Things are starting to get a little overgrown. I'm just going to kind of jog over here a little bit. So this is where I've been doing my farming. These are tomato plants that just went to shit. and I can't figure out what to do with them. I can't water them anymore because they're basically dead, and I don't think I can dig them up. I don't know what to do about them. And these are some strawberry plants here, which are not quite ready to harvest, of course. So at one point I built a shack. See what I mean about walking through oops, oh shit, what the hell did I just do? I have a habit of hitting F by accident and bringing out my hand torch. So I do have a fanny pack here, which is kind of handy. I keep just a few things. It's my Plans for World Domination, which is a notebook, just to remind myself. I started using this just maybe 2 weeks ago in game, just to remind myself as to kind of what I'm planning. My duffel bag should be empty. I got keys for various things around, but who knows what. So I built built my little shack here some time ago. I found a generator that I've added, and I know there's another generator not too far away. I've got tons of seed packets and tons of seeds and other stuff here. You know, I make sure to keep kind of one of each of the standard tools in here so I can do some work. I have 6 full gas cans. I'm still looking for more. And at the end, on the floor we got tires, and we got a bunch of planks over here and a whole bunch of garbage bags for building my rain collectors. So I do have enough to build some more rain collectors. But I'm going to come up because I built stairs to build the roof, and I have a whole bunch of rain collectors and no longer empty, but pails up here. And of course I have been very busy collecting propane tanks. There's one loaded up into the barbecue, which is got 20 hours of fuel, and I'm pretty sure that's full. The only one that's off, I think these 4 here are full. This one is not. It's like a third full or a quarter full or something. And that seems like a good test of OBS to see kind of how that works. So I'm just going to stop recording, and well, hopefully that makes some sense.